Hi, Rich Leiter here. Welcome to my channel, Thoughts on Writing. I'm going to read you a short piece now which is entitled The Replacement Novelist, written by me, Richard Leiter. One semester, the administration at a major New England Ivy League college contacted a best-selling Russian novelist who had recently defected to the United States and was now purported to be living in Maine. The administration then proceeded to ask the novelist if he would be interested in teaching a creative writing course at their college. Da, says the Russian novelist. Oh, that's just wonderful, wonderful, says the administration. We can't pay you very much, however. Will that be a big problem for you? How much? He asks them. 2,000, they tell him. U.S. dollars? Yes, U.S. dollars. No problem, no problem. In Soviet Union, $2,000 U.S. is small fortune. Buy big Cadillac on black market. When you want me, they tell him when. Okay then, I mark on calendar. It's been an honor talking with you. Da svidanya. So the Russian novelist comes to the campus. He is a small man with seemingly boundless energy. He hops around the place just like a jackrabbit, asking many questions and shaking many hands. Finally, the big day arrives, the day of the first class which he is to teach. The Russian novelist walks into the classroom. Actually, since he's such a famous guy, they gave him an entire amphitheater in which to lecture. At which point he says to his students, Privyat, kak dela? The students are puzzled by this. They don't know what he is saying. That mean hello in Russian. How are you, dear people? Oh, we're just fine and dandy, Professor, somebody yells out from the audience. Good. I too am just fine and dandy. There are a couple of chuckles from the students at that point. Good-natured, innocent chuckles. They have never seen a famous novelist before, let alone a famous Russian one, and so their spirits are quite high. Everybody is very excited. The Russian novelist continues then. He says to all of his high-spirited Abulian students, Dear people, nobody teach you right. You teach yourself right. You teacher. Anybody teach you right? Liar. Then the Russian novelist walks out of the amphitheater, and he doesn't return. He never returns. There are a few nervous giggles from the audience at this point. Is this some kind of a joke, they wonder? Is this some kind of a Russian gimmick? I mean, all writers are somewhat strange to begin with. They are eccentric, they are withdrawn, they are reclusive, They are somewhat paranoid at times, and blessed with a dry gallows sense of humor. And so it only stands to reason, doesn't it, that strangeness and eccentricity and paranoia and gallows humor of theirs would be sorely aggravated by political upheaval, by any type of political upheaval, not to mention that particularly virulent strain of it which occurred in Tsarist Russia circa 1919. So maybe that was it. Maybe he was a comedian, a genius writer with a twisted sense of humor which had become even more twisted under totalitarianism. It was funny at first, but then not so much. Once the students finally realized that their creative writing class is now over, and that their illustrious lecturer will not be returning, one by one, they all exit the amphitheater. What a rip-off, one student says to another. And this retard has actually been shortlisted for the Nobel Prize? You gotta be kidding me. I'm with you, Harry, says the other student. Just wait until the administration gets wind of this. Boy, would I love to be a fly on their wall then. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. The administration is immediately apprised of the Russian novelist's bizarre behavior. And one of the administrators, the dean, actually, summons the Russian novelist to his office. Now, bear in mind, the last novel this guy wrote, after it had been translated into English, was number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list for 3 solid weeks straight, and then stayed in the top 10 for another 2 weeks, 12 days, actually. So the dean can't just order the guy to cut the shit out. He has to ask him to cut it out very delicately, very respectfully. The Russian novelist listens politely to the dean's very delicate and respectful request, at which point he says to the dean, "Okay, no problem. You want I say more? Okay, I say more." Well, I'm certainly glad we got this all ironed out, Vlad, the dean says to the Russian novelist then, attributing the novelist's peculiar behavior merely to the inevitable clash of cultures which is bound to arise whenever communism confronts capitalism, and totalitarianism, its polar opposite. And then the novelist takes his leave of the dean. Okay, so the next day, the Russian novelist waltzes back into the amphitheater, and then he says to his students, "Privyat, как дела?" Only this time he doesn't have to translate for them. "Oh, we're just fine and dandy, Professor," the same student yells out from the audience. "Gut, gut," says the professor. "I too am feeling good, good and strong." And then the professor becomes more serious. He says to his students, "Dear people, administration want I say more, so I say more. I say, nobody teach you right. You teach yourself right. You teacher. You teacher. Anybody teach you right? Liar. You Tolstoy. You Dostoevsky. You genius. They scumbag. Scumbag lie. Teach you nothing. Lock you up. Take your money. Kill your father. Fuck your mother. Serialization. Big hoax. I try kill you. You try kill me. You kill me. You serialization. I kill you. I serialization. Tolstoy, not serialization. Dostoevsky, not serialization. The opposite, serialization. Serialization, same as gulag. Вы понимаете? Нет. Нет. You too young to know gulag. But gulag know you. Thank you all very much. And then the Russian novelist leaves the podium. Well, long story short, the administration gets rid of the best-selling Russian novelist and then hires a new best-selling American novelist to teach the remainder of the creative writing course. Now, this new best-selling American novelist isn't really that good a novelist, despite her meteoric rise to fame. However, nowadays, as we all know, actual talent, actual merit has very little to do with celebrity. It's all about political correctness now, taking the right stances on the right issues, and you need to sell yourself. That's very important. You need to make a big noise in the world, relentlessly. Those who make the biggest noises, even if they are bereft of content, will always garner all of the attention. And of course, it never hurts any either when the right stances and the biggest noises are being perpetrated by an attractive female. Anyway, the replacement novelist takes over the creative writing class, and her lectures cover a wide array of topics, including when to use and to avoid MacGuffins, the key components of a gripping plot, the 4 secrets to killer dialogue, the 7 pillars of an effective subplot, the 8 surefire ways of eliminating writer's block and turbocharging your tepid prose, and of course the ever-popular how to write about steamy sex without it sounding pornographic. The Replacement Novelist is a huge hit.